We've been talking about the fact that carbs are not born equal. It's all about how they're packaged. If they're packaged in ways where most of them are simple sugars or refined processed carbs that have been damaged due to the processing and therefore they behave like sugars, they'll have a completely different effect on your metabolism, your weight and your health compared with better quality carbs that have got higher quality starches and fibres, etc. Well, just like carbs are not born equal, calories are not born equal. The most common way of measuring the value of a food is the energy component. That's what a calorie is. Pretty obvious to most people if you think about it. Compare the effect of drinking 150 calories worth of soft drink, which is carbohydrate, sugar and water. Compare that with 150 calories worth of vegetable juice, which is carbohydrates as well. They've got a completely different effect short and long term. They've got a completely different effect on your appetite. They've got a completely different effect on the change to your blood sugar levels. They've got a completely different effect on things like how much energy has to be used in order to break those carbohydrates down, and therefore how much energy comes into your bloodstream. If you look at having a snack, you're having a cup of tea and you have a biscuit or two, so you've got 100 calories of carbs again. Compare that with having a cup of tea where you're having a 100 calorie snack. This time it's celery and hummus or something equivalent. Compare a 500 calorie lunch. Say you have a sandwich. The sandwich is salmon, avocado, salad on wholemeal, whole grain bread, which is pretty healthy. Compare that with a 500 calorie lunch, which might be pizza or a cheeseburger and chips. One is going to give you all sorts of good benefits, and one is going to run havoc internally to you. One of them is going to create genetic changes in the short term, but if you do it regularly, in the long term. It's called epigenetics. The chemicals produce genetic changes that drive all the things we want. It'll bring down your blood pressure and your cholesterol levels and your sugar levels and your insulin levels. It'll make us think more clearly. It improves every part of us. But if you consume calories that are not going to be beneficial to you, and they're the ones that everyone knows, they're your sugars and your refined carbs, because they're just like sugar anyway, and they're all the oils that you get, particularly in fried foods or barbecued foods and things such as that. They're going to drive genetic changes in the opposite direction. And that's what drives all the lifestyle diseases that we come across. That sandwich or the pizza option will drive changes to our microbiome. That's our gut bacteria, which is just profoundly influential, not just on our weight, which it is, but also on our health in everything that you can measure. It'll have different effects with regard to how full we feel, how hungry our appetite is, and how long before we feel hungry again. Some of them are addictive. Things like the fish and chips and the hamburger and chips and chocolates and biscuits, they're all really addictive. Most processed foods are designed to be addictive. Those food chemists and food manufacturers aren't stupid. Most natural foods are not addictive. I've never seen anyone get addicted to eating apples, bananas or vegetables. And when something is addictive, you lose control of things that you're going to eat. Your portion control goes out the window, and how much you're going to eat goes out the window. Try stopping at one potato chip at a party and see how well you go. The thing I'm trying to get across to finish off this week is everything is different. The amount of food that we eat, we've got options on. Some are going to be good for us and some are going to be not so good. The amount of carbs that we choose are different. Some will be good for us and some not. The amount of calories we decide that we're going to consume are going to have beneficial or disastrous effects to us, short and long term. And that's the key to all of this weight control thing. There is no use calorie counting and using that and try and bludgeon your way into losing weight. Your body's not going to accept that long term. Your hormonal and biochemical and genetic predispositions are going to return your weight to what your body wants it to be. We've got to be smarter than that. We've got to lose weight in a way that doesn't bring in these ancient genetic and biochemical pathways so that we don't want to gain the weight back again. And that is absolutely achievable if we become a bit more mindful about how we choose our lifestyle habits, what we eat, when we eat, why we eat, how much activity we're going to do, how much sleep we're going to have. Everything has an effect on each other.